Hi everyone, welcome. How was your day? What are you drinking? I am drinking the Stephen Smith Jasmine Silver Jasmine Silver Tip tea. Try saying that 3 times fast, right? Um, Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to get through that, and then I'm gonna order some other tea from some people from the Tea Fest, which was really good. So I can't wait to do that. Getting through that. So yes, and of course I have my Badgers cup today. Mug today. Wisconsin Badgers. Anyways, we're still working on getting the studio office little area here together. So hopefully it'll be ready next week. We thought it was gonna be ready this week, but not quite. So next week, hopefully we're working on that. That's our goal. So today let's talk about writing therapy or healing. I say healing through writing therapy. It's so much to go through, so it's going to be 2 parts. So today we'll talk about more so the benefits. So what are the benefits of writing therapy? Or actually, let's get into like what is writing therapy. Writing therapy is, to me, it's just writing. I say writing things down. It can be like journaling. It can be writing a letter, music. Writing music, writing lyrics for music, any of that. So it's just getting what you're feeling out and onto paper. Even some people can go through like art therapy. I think art therapy is a little different from writing therapy, but it's still a creative process to you get out and get on paper. So the benefits of it is it's an emotional processing that can help you express and process a wide range of emotions associated with cancer, such as fear, anger, sadness, and grief. So it can help by putting thoughts and feelings into words. Individuals can gain clarity and a deeper understanding of their emotional landscape. Um, Sometimes, when you're trying to think of things and just trying to get it out when you're talking, sometimes just writing it out will help you get everything out. Um, to me, it can also be used as like a filter per se. Uh, so you can write specifically like everything out that you want to get out, and then you can go back and revise it to, okay, that sounds a little harsh, or that doesn't sound quite right, let me do this. Anyways, it also can improve quality of life. Studies such as the one conducted by MD Anderson Cancer Center with breast cancer survivors have shown that expressive writing interventions can lead to a significant improvement in quality of life. Participants often report a greater sense of well-being, increased confidence, and a more purposeful outlook on life. So it can also help stress and anxiety reduction. So it reduces your stress, anxiety, and depression symptoms. It also provides a safe and confidential outlet for those feelings, helping to develop a healthier coping mechanism. So you can kind of get all those feelings out. I look at it as, they say one of the drawbacks to healing through writing therapy is it can turn very negative very quickly. Like all you do is write out negative things, but I look at it as sometimes you just need to get that negativity out of your system. So to me, I feel like by putting it or expressing it out on paper, like as long as you get it out of you, that energy, those feelings out of you in a way, like, and not keep them inside, like, it's working. So it's, if you get them out, if you if you're writing therapy or your writing is a lot of negativity, but you're feeling like you're not festering those feelings inside of you, like if you're feeling, you're feeling positive because you got the negativity out, then it's working. Like that's the whole concept of it. That's just the way I look at it. Granted, if you're also getting them out and then you're still feeling that negativity, then I would definitely talk to somebody about that. In a sense, talk to somebody about that. So yes. See, it can also enhance communication. So it can help you clarify your thoughts and feelings, leading to improved communication with loved ones and healthcare providers. And it can be helpful in expressing your needs and discussing concerns and sharing important information related to your treatment. Um, so, kind of like I said earlier, you're getting everything out, and then you can write out exactly like everything you're thinking, and then you can kind of put that or go back and revise it and say, oh, okay, this is the best way to say this. This is how I can say this when I'm talking to my doctor or when I'm talking to my caretaker or a loved one about something that I need. This is what I need. Even if you write down everything and then you can go back and pinpoint specifically what you need. So even if, all right, also another way to look at that is, you kind of make a list of things that are frustrating you. You have like you're feeling frustrated for these reasons because the house is a mess. So these things are going on. You feel like you got to cook. You feel like all these, like you write down all these feelings, and then you can look at it and you're like, oh, well, I need somebody. If I can just find somebody that can have food delivered or come over, and if I can just get somebody to wash the dishes, then I can do this. So it helps. It also can help you break down what you need, and you can then express that. So, see, it also can help with post-traumatic growth. So it can encourage you to find meaning in your cancer experience and appreciate life more deeply. It can lead to increased personal strength, improved relationships, and a more positive outlook. So, I guess a lot of the reason why I started this was I don't want people to just sit in their feelings. Um, I want them to be able to, yes, get out the negative feelings. I wanted them to be, because if you're, as long as you're not sitting in your feelings and sitting in your negative feelings and worrying and stressing over what's going on, what could happen, then your body, your system, your immune system, your body can do what it needs to do. Whether that, it can respond better to treatment if you're doing the treatment route or whatever. Actually, it can respond to whatever treatment route you decide to take, whether it's integrative medicine, whether it's Western medicine or just Eastern medicine. Long as you're not sitting in your feelings and stressing over it, your body can respond how it should, or it helps your body, your immune system respond the way it needs to treatment. That was the whole concept with this. So I feel like nobody, and this is find meaning in your cancer, is interesting because to me nobody deserves this. My mom always said like she wouldn't even wish chemo. She wouldn't even wish chemo on her worst enemy. With what she went through, as I said before, she had some kick-ass chemo. In some of the previous videos, so. So to find meaning in your cancer, some people look at it as, they were in some cases, like in the Radical Remission book, this guy, he was talking about, I think it was in Radical Remission or Radical Hope, one of the two. He was like a CEO, and he was working, like, he only got 5 hours of sleep. Like, he was constantly working, constantly driving himself. And then when he got sick, he quit. Like, he just started enjoying life. So to me, I guess in a sense, it could say that you need to slow down. Like, you need to stop. It's not, that's not what life is about. Working yourself to death. Like, literally, it's appreciating what you have, the time you have. And sometimes I feel like maybe those are the meanings that it's trying to tell you, in a sense. But to each of their own. Everybody's life is different, everybody's experience is different. Sometimes I feel like it happens to the best, especially when, like, little kids, they're always so giving and so innocent, in general. And then when they go through cancer and their treatment and their journey, it's finding, like, I don't know, sometimes I go back, this lady had once said, this was about something completely different, but she said it wasn't, we just got to remember it wasn't our lesson to learn. And I think sometimes some of these things, even though certain people do get cancer, that maybe it's just not like, maybe it's not their lesson to learn, it's somebody else around them, it's a loved ones around them lesson to learn. And I don't know, that's, to me, that's a hard one. That's the hard one to cope on, because, again, like I said, I don't, nobody deserves it. But finding, meaning in your cancer experience, maybe it's like the lady who found her healing through her horses, find, different meaning of life and a different life journey to take. Sorry, didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. But it does give you strength, because you've been through something difficult, and once you made it through that, it's almost like nothing else. It's, I don't want to say it makes things a cakewalk, by no means, but it just makes it makes you stronger to go through other things. Yeah. It also, let's see, writing, the benefits of healing through writing therapy is legacy building. So writing about your cancer journey can become a way to leave a legacy, sharing your experiences, lessons learned, and deep thoughts with loved ones. I will say, so my mom started doing a journal. I think it was more so after she went in remission. She started writing a journal. And that was one of the most, I guess, I don't want to say treasured things, but it meant a lot to me. Like, after the fact, because obviously I would never, didn't read in her journal when she was alive, but when she passed, like, that was the best thing for me. It helped a lot, and I wish she had written a lot more. So I guess, to me, my advice as a caretaker or a loved one, to those of you that are going through it, is, definitely write in it, write how you're feeling, write letters to your loved ones, things that you wanted to say, things like, or things that, or if you guys spent time together, like how much it meant to you, your feelings with that and what you did. And I remember watching this podcast where, or a YouTube channel where, this young Gen Zer, he was actually a survivor of the Parkland school shooting in Florida. I was watching a podcast, and he was talking about how when his grandfather passed, his grandfather had written him a letter, and how much that meant to him, because it was, stories about him growing up and things that his grandfather had experienced with him and times that his grandfather had experienced with him, and that meant a lot. And so he kind of had the same advice as I'm giving you now, like, and to even if you don't have cancer, like, if you're not on that journey, like, do it to, write a letter, talk about it, or, write a letter, write a journal, like, talk about the experience you have with your loved ones, whether it's your children, your husband, your significant other, a really dear friend, like, because they see things different, and, like, from that experience, they had a different experience than you did. They saw it differently than you did, and you can talk about your experience and where you saw it from. And like I said, I wish my mom had written more. That was, like, one of the best things, or one of the things I enjoyed reading, like, after she had passed. And, I remember my dad saying, you may find a letter she started with for you somewhere. And I would have thought, like, that could have been a possibility from the first time she had gotten cancer, before she had went in remission and before it came back. But, which I would have loved that. It's just, and especially if it's things that you always wanted to say but never got to say, because you're just not one of those people who really like to talk about your feelings. And my parents always told me they loved me and they were proud of me and everything, but it's interesting. My husband and I are the same way, but to me, like, one of my favorite things to get from them were cards. So whether it was birthday cards, Christmas cards, Valentine's Day cards, because they actually took the time to look at the card, read the card, and if it said how they felt. So the card was literally, like, for lack of a better term, handpicked. So it wasn't just like I need a card, and they walked in and got a card. They literally went and picked up the card, and so they took their time. And so to me, that was just kind of how they, like, express deeper on how they felt, other than showing it. And so it's so if you're especially one of those people who don't verbalize how you feel a lot, write it down and leave it for someone. I mean, you can leave it for them to get it after you pass. Like, you don't have to do it beforehand. So yeah, just something to think about. But so that's it for today. Next week we'll get into, like, how to get into writing therapy and different resources that you have for that. So Bentley is asleep right here next to me. So anyways, till then, have fun. Take care. Be safe. It's a little warm outside. Enjoy your tea. And next week, we'll see you under the willow tree.